And I'm Vanessa, and this is episode 13, because we are Venue 13. Haha. I wanted to say that. So yes, we are really in the process of getting ready for the Fringe now. What we're going to do with these, the next series of podcasts, is to interview the artists that are going to be at Venue 13 this August.
This week, we welcome Emma Smallman. She's the founder of Drum Bass and the mind behind the Drum Bass Aerobics Experience, which will be at Venue 13 this August for its first ever Fringe run. Come and find your happy bass at Venue 13 this August, which works really well for us. It works with our vegan theme because you could also find a happy bass.
A happy what?
A bass.
A bass?
Yeah, it's a freshwater fish.
No, you need to cut that out.
Okay, I'll cut that out. Maybe I'll leave this part out. Our guest this week is the brilliant Emma Smallman, the founder of Drum Bass, who is bringing the Drum Bass Aerobics Experience to Venue 13 for its first ever Fringe run. Emma, welcome to Podcast 13.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here chatting to you today.
Hi, Emma. Welcome to Podcast 13. For anyone who has never heard or thought about you or doing a drum and bass aerobics class in the mornings, do you want to paint the picture for them? Why should they do it? Do you recommend someone starting their day in this way, like get the festival way, like that kind of emotion?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a big advocate for doing any sort of movement every morning, but yeah, even more so at the Fringe. And so basically, Drum and Bounce is a really uplifting experience. And it's dance, fitness, aerobics, no pressure to get anything right, of course. It's more about having fun. But the music is so magnetic and it just like carries you like a wave. And so even if you're not coordinated, anything like that, it doesn't matter, because what happens in Drum and Bounce, some participants I've had before call it like this joy bubble, because we're all coming together. It's a collective experience. It's this moment where, because you're sort of concentrating on listen to the music, what moves are coming, nothing else sort of exists within that time because you're fully present. So it's just a perfect way to start the day. You come out of your mind and into your body. It gets all your systems fired up and started, and you get all the endorphins and the euphoria, both in the session and afterwards. And there's something really lovely that happens when you move with other people, in that even if you've not spoke to them when you walked in the door, you come together in that moment because we become like synchronized. Our heartbeats start beating at the same beat. We're listening to the music. We have those moments of joy. We laugh when we get it wrong. And, you know, these shared experiences, I think, are just becoming even more important the more we're living in a virtual world. We're on our phones a lot. The sort of power of being in a space with other people and moving together, I think, is just becoming even more essential, not just for physical health, but for mental health and, yeah, the power of connection. So I think it's a marvelous way to start your day if you come into Fringe, because it just like kickstarts, fires things off, and you know, you might meet some people as well, which is a really lovely thing to start the day.
Absolutely. It also probably sets the tone for the day as well, because I believe, like Ian, you can actually relate to this in a way. We've actually had the conversation. The Fringe can be quite a static thing from a physical perspective. You know, you're queuing, then you're sitting down, then you're queuing again, and you're sitting down. And to start the day with, like, you know, shaking it all off, to be like, I'm ready for this. It must be like a fantastic opportunity.
A lot of people refer to the Fringe as like a bit of a marathon, so it's good. Like, it's important to have a warm-up before you get into everything, especially because, you know, yes, it is a lot of stillness as well. I know that when I was, you know, when we were setting up for this conversation, we were passing backtracks, and also when we were getting things listed, like you have a Spotify playlist that we've embedded within the website so that people can hear some of the music that you're going to be bringing into space. Like, it's also hard, like when you were referring to so much time being on your screens and so much time in like this virtual space. I'm like, oh yeah, I was setting up the website and I just wanted to like get up because of the music.
Have a little dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and when we were talking about music and what we might be able to bring into this episode too, I was like, yeah, I think I just want to go for a run now. Like, I just want
Oh,
to like get
good.
up and move.
It might
Uh,
inspire healthy choices throughout the rest of the day in the festival as well. And obviously, you know, people might be coming and indulging at the festival, and that's great too, because it's all about balance. But it might help if you've had a heavy night the night before. It could just,
mhm.
you know, totally reset you for the day ahead. Or you might then, as a result, go, oh, I'm going to have a little walk around the block after in between shows. And, you know, so it might just inspire some healthy choices throughout the event as well, which is great for your well being.
Which is an excellent tip for the festival in general. It can be really easy to put those aside for the month of August while you're at the Fringe. So you've been doing this since 2012.
Yeah.
Can you take us back to like where the idea came from, like combining like the drum and bass, like a rave aesthetic with an aerobics class? Like, what was the
Yes.
spark that brought that together?
Yeah, totally. Well, I used to go when I first started going out raving to drum and bass nights. It was back in the early 90s. And it just had the music had a real visceral effect on me. And and then similar to you saying you heard the music and it makes you want to run. So beyond the sort of raving time, if I ever heard drum and bass music come on, I would either need to sprint or I'd need to dance, or it just did something that almost like I wasn't in control of it. The music kind of had this powerful impact. And I became an aerobics teacher back in 2004, but I just found it all a bit boring. I thought the music was a bit boring. And anyway, I was round at a mate's just before 2012, and it was a Friday night, and we had the drum and bass on, and I started teaching some aerobics moves to it, going, wouldn't this be like, this would be the perfect aerobics class because it's really fast, but also you get those connotations of a night out. You can't help but sort of feel that like fizz of excitement. I do anyway, and I now know lots of other people do when you hear drum and bass. So I was just like prancing around and showing him the moves, and he was copying me. And then we were like, this would be such a good class, and you could call it jump and bass or drum and bounce. And we were, oh, Eureka!
Yes.
So my brother was a DJ at the time. He started putting some mixes together initially for me. I started creating some dance moves, and then I got a space for free for a month. And I said, I'm just going to put on classes and just see, you know, anyone can come, and friends and friends of friends. And also Shambala Festival was a big inspiration because they do a lot of dance workshops. And I was doing dance workshops there going, oh, I could do this. I could do this drum and bounce here. It would go down a treat. And that inspired me. And so, yeah, I started October 2012. And by August 2013, I was doing it at Shambala, which really like propelled the whole festival fitness thing, which drum and bounce is, I guess it's one of its niches, really.
Yeah,
It's
Mhm.
yeah, I saw that. And just like that, you started, and then it's nearly 14 years on now,
yeah.
and you've opened many main stages and played everything from Commonwealth Games to Eurovision Fan Zone. Like, did you ever imagine it would grow into this, would get this big?
No, like the big events, the festivals, yeah, those big stages are just amazing. I'm like, come on, bigger stages, more
Bigger
people.
stages, more,
Well,
yes.
yeah, and the big events, and it's great because similar to what we're talking about with the Fringe, you know, it's the importance of people moving, but enjoying it because, you know, this like exercising, I don't think should be a chore where you're like, oh, I've got to do this thing that I don't particularly want to do. Actually, if you are doing things that are fun and that you love, it's going to be way more part of your routine and you're going to get way more consistency with it. So I guess that's one of my missions really is to show you that you can exercise, get all those benefits, but it's really good fun when you find the things that you like, be it driven by the music that you love or the type of movement that you love or you know whatever it is, keep trying things until you find what that is for you. And yeah, luckily for a lot of people it's drum and bounce, which is great.
Plenty for them and for you.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and you're wearing a lot of hats too. Like you mentioned your brother putting together a mix, but you're DJ's sister Smalls
Yep.
behind the decks. You do hosting. You also are like a trauma informed yoga teacher. Like
Yeah.
how all of these different worlds feed into drum and bounce.
Well, I guess the umbrella over all of these things is around well-being. So when I'm out DJing, for me, it's about creating like high vibrational experiences where people are just dancing with each other. You know, it's that same collective experience that I talked about at the start with drum and bounce. I feel the same thing with DJing. And I also am quite passionate about like DJing in daytime and DJing at sober events so that it's not all related to alcohol or
Mhm.
substances but like you just creating that energy through dance, through music. So it kind of really connects with drum and bounce. And then the trauma-informed yoga I teach in quite particular settings, which again for me is about creating opportunities for no matter where you are or who you are or what you're doing, like the opportunities to come at well-being and find ways to really come home to yourself in your body. Because I think when you feel that way, um, life just is more comfortable, I think, when you're feeling good in yourself. So I like to bring that through the trauma-informed yoga. And then my radio show is called Find Your Happy Base, which is, again,
Yes.
connected to well-being and how do we feel good in ourselves and our sort of physical and mental state, be it through music, movement, whatever. So for me, whilst I have got many hats and doing lots of different things, they all come under the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, extending that too, like having trained with like the prison yoga program and the Phoenix Prison Trust, you're delivering yoga in prisons, probation, hostels, like people going through recovery, and people who are leaving like domestic abuse situations. Like, there's like a strong mission in what you're doing. How does this like sort of shape the way that you structure your sessions?
Yeah, and so I really, really love working in all those different environments. And again, I think it's really important if people are not able to sort of come to classes, take the classes to the people.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like when people are going through really challenging times, movement, mindfulness, exercise, yoga, all these things, I just think are such essential tools for life. Um, and so again, it all fits under that notion of well-being.
Mhm.
And I want to try and get into as many spaces as I can, and particularly spaces where there's I guess, yeah, people are experiencing challenge and darkness and heaviness to just try and bring some of the light into those spaces. So
That's
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, there's so much in as you're talking about it, there's so much that's like it just seems also sort of obvious, like the sort of like rhythmic social dance aspect to it, whether or not it's with drum and bass music or like the history of human civilization is like a universal thing that has like brought people together and like created belonging and feeling like embodying like a spirit of being alive. So it's really amazing to hear that across so many different places where you're using that as a like a way to inspire people to be engaged.
Yeah.
Uh, and
It's like
sorry, you're saying.
Sorry, Vanessa.
No.
Yeah, it's like a social glue, isn't it? It's amazing how quickly a piece of music or some movement connects people. And there's more ways that we're connected than we're not. And sometimes it takes some of these different techniques and practices to help make that shift. And it can make that shift very, very quickly. We've got a room full of guys in prison in the sports hall who come in as individuals with their masks on and their fronts on because they need to do that. And, 30 minutes into a movement class where they're flowing together and moving together, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful to witness. Yeah, definitely.
I absolutely love that. It has a very strong accessibility message. This, you're gonna take it to them because regardless of the circumstances of where they are right now, you do understand that you truly understand and believe that this is going to actually be good for them. It is something that is, in a similar way, it's something that Venue 13 wants to do with the accessibility for the Fringe. We are working into trying to get together some sort of digital access so that people that can't physically make it to the Fringe for whatever reason, maybe they have like they physically cannot actually attend, or they have, mentally they can attend, or, geographically they're not here at the time, we would like to always find a way to make the Fringe more accessible to them as well. So especially just trying to not gatekeep art in any way. But yes, as you were saying, the accessibility part is clearly central to what you do. Within your class, you said that there is wheelchair users access classes. You offer high impact, low impact options. And like you even said at the beginning, so there's no pressure to get it right. So this is really important to you. It's like you're saying that this is mainly is it just about the fun of it, or also to say to people, like, come as you are, you are accepted as you are originally, and then, you can change and transform into something else?
Absolutely that. I just know that for a lot of people, there's a lot of barriers as to why they might not access a class or a well-being practice. And I just think that's, I think as a well-being deliverer, I need to do everything I can to help people to know that they can come through the door. Because I think once you're through the door, the rest of it's taken care of. But I know that it can take a lot for people to do that. So yeah, I just want to try and like reassure people as much as possible that when they're there, they're going to have a lovely
You have a
time.
great time.
They're going to have a lovely time, and there's just absolutely no pressure. And because once people have accessed that, then they might go, oh, well, I could go to something else that I might have been a bit worried about, or and lots of people who come to my class don't like the gym necessarily. It's the music that can often be the thing that draws them in. And then they go, oh, I'd never thought of me as being an active person, but now I've bought some active wear. And but then I think if you start to open up these potential different identities, whatever that may be, like lots of people who come to my yoga classes are like, I'd never imagined I'd do yoga and enjoy it. I just think it opens up the possibility for anything, because then you're like, what else might I be able to do that I've never thought possible? So I sort of see it on a much broader level, which is why I want to, make things accessible as possible, because I just think it opens up potential,
It
like
does.
potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally am excited, in part because I think the ulterior motive that Vanessa and I have about trying to find movement stuff that we can program into the venue earlier in the day is we get so caught up in the festival ourselves that it's like we just need to manufacture the situation where we'll have the opportunity
Yes,
to
I knew
move around in a
it.
structured way as well.
It's like, I don't know, like we are going to be there every single time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have
Lovely.
two big fans. No, to be fair, it was always the idea of so many venues have this way of like, just you feel like you're always in a queue or just sitting down saying a thing. And then it's always this feeling of next, next, next. And we wanted to do something different with A13. We wanted to have sort of like a wellness aspect to it and the community aspect to it. We always, was making a big point of liaising with vendors, with food vendors, with local people, with the community, and trying to bring people in to do something that's not just theatre. And if it means that theatre is sort of like the afternoon, evening, then fine. But I'm like, well, in the morning, can we have some climate talks, and can we have some panels? Can we have some exercise of some sort, or something, that I don't know, that inspires people to be part of the community. So that was one of the missions.
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing.
Emma, this is your first time to the Fringe, at least with definitely with the drum with the classes, and your first time at Venue 13.
Yep.
From that first conversation with Vanessa, how did you get on board with like, yeah, I'm going to bring this to this festival, and what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, well, firstly, thanks so much for getting in touch. And I love that you've sort of opened up the remit of what the Fringe Festival is about. And it's funny, when you first messaged me, Vanessa, I've got a WhatsApp with some of my
Yeah.
friends. I went, someone's just messaged me about doing drum and bounce at the Fringe. And they all went, it's a scam. No, it's not. Believe it. So then when I was like, guys, it's real, they were like, wow. And the Fringe is such a huge thing.
Yeah.
So I was absolutely delighted when you got in touch. Initially, I thought, am I going to have to make my class into a comedy show or a theatre? Is that what they're asking? I didn't realise
We're
until
open to it. You don't have to.
We don't have to.
There's no request to do it. That's
I
entirely
know.
up to you as the
I was like, can I
creator.
do this? This is a strange request, but can I make it into a comedy show? But I'm sure sometimes people, when they do it, feel like you can be a bit of a comedy show. But that's good. But yeah, I'm very excited. It's such a prestigious event. It'll just be fantastic to be part of it and to be part of the buzz. And also, if it does bring some well-being for people whilst they're there, and it just gives them that, extra bit for the marathon, extra in the legs for the rest of the festival, then that's perfect. But also, if it just inspires people to go, oh, I want to hunt out an exercise class when I get back, 'cause I really enjoyed that. I find people often surprise themselves with drum and bounce. And so if that just has a ripple effect in some way or another, then then that would be fantastic as well. And also I'll get to have a little mooch around the festival, which I'm really excited about because I've only been once before. So yeah,
Yes, I
and
think
Anu's instructing as well, who's the up in Edinburgh. So it'll be lovely, to get her on board and delivering as well.
Yeah, I mean, and there are other venues as well. Like when you come up, we will take you around and you will see the bigger parks and how they get taken over by venues as well and venue stuff. And maybe we can help you liaise with Assembly, which are like a bigger, like different venue, and they
Yeah.
tend to do outdoor stuff. So maybe for future festivals, you can actually have the vision of having, like something similar to more Shambala, that you have a
Yeah.
stage outside and like the people can just join in and it's something that it's like
Lovely.
an open space. Edinburgh is very flexible when it comes to the Fringe. So I genuinely believe that venue 13 could be just like the starter for
Oh, I love
you. And there are other festivals, actually coming up in July, which is something that we're going to talk about later in the program. We have the Kelburn Festival, which is quite a very loved festival in Scotland. It's kind of like a hidden little secret. It's very family friendly, so that's another one I can totally see you being at.
Yeah.
It's a lovely, lovely festival. It will be very popular. So I'll definitely send you those details as well.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, so far, Edinburgh and Scotland has opened up to drum and bounce with loving arms and stuff at Portobello. And yeah, so nice one, Anu. And yeah, thanks so much for asking. I'm so
No,
excited.
I'm very, very excited. And, just a few words for the nervous ones or the skeptical parents or the flatmate that claims that they cannot dance. What do you want to say to them?
Just come along. Honestly, just come because it doesn't matter. And you get to enjoy the music. I also actively encourage freestyling. So I go, look, if you just want to spend, the whole class just doing your own moves, but you love the music 'cause the mixes are great, just do that. Just have a morning little rave. The thing is, if you freestyle and I like your moves, I'm likely going to pinch them.
Yeah.
All of that. But it's just come together. Let's move. Let's connect. Let's just have some nice positive energy to start the day. Yeah, definitely come. No need to get anything right, like I said at the start.
Fantastic. Well, Emma, thank you so much. The Drum Bass Aerobics Experience will be at venue 13 at 10:30 on the 14th, 15th, 16th, 22nd and 23rd of August. Tickets are £16, 14 concessions. And this is a capacity limited kind of show. So do book ahead and we will leave all the information in the description.
Thanks so much for joining us, Emma.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
See you. Bye.
Sure. You want to do an outro? Go for it.
No?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. If you enjoyed our conversation, make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss an update. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We'd also love it if you could take a moment to leave us a review. It helps more people discover the podcast and join the community. It's especially helpful to get these on Apple Podcasts so we can rise to be the most popular hybrid vegan climate theatre Edinburgh podcast. Is that very niche? It's a highly competitive niche, I'm sure, but honestly, it's a big help even if we are a very special flavour. Got thoughts, questions, or ideas for future episodes, or would you like to be part of an episode? We'd love to hear from you. You can reach us at podcast@venue13.com, that's podcast@venue13.com, and across the socials at venue13fringe, so venue13fringe. Our back episodes and transcripts can be found on our website, venue13.com, venue13.com. The music you heard through the episode is by Dusty Dex, which we got through Epidemic Sound. Until next time, thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back with another episode soon.